The Detective Conan anime has been serialized for more than 20 years. Many viewers who watch this anime are already old fans, including me. I've made more than 40 videos on Detective Conan's timeline, romantic plots, the Black Organization, and character analyses. I personally think that I already know everything there is to know about the Detective Conan TV anime. Basically, you can show me an image cut from the anime, and I can probably guess what the content of this episode is, unless you show me an image you cut from an opening or ending. I am quite proud of my memorization ability. Even so, there is still a lot of interesting trivial knowledge about Detective Conan that I don't know. So in this series, I will share some information that even OG Detective Conan fans may not know. First, which character is based on the author? Many authors of works will substitute their own personality into a certain character during the creation process, so as to make the created character more humane, and Aoyama Gosho is no exception. Now the question is, which character in Detective Conan was designed based on the author for the prototype? I believe that most people now have Mori Kogoro in their heads, and they are half right. Tsuburaya Mitsuhiko is Aoyama Gosho when he was a child, as he is more of a leader among the young children. He knows a little bit about everything, and even when he encounters something he doesn't understand, he has to pretend to understand it himself. Mori Kogoro is the Aoyama Gosho who has grown up. In Detective Conan, the movie Perfect Guide 5th Anniversary, published in 2001, the author said that Kogoro is a lecherous, sloppy, and pretentious character. But if you look carefully, you can find his gentleness. Occasionally, he will act cool when his mind is clear. These are very similar to him, and both of them like to play mahjong. It is because of this personality that it's difficult for you to really hate Kogoro no matter how many wrong things he does. In addition to these two male characters, there is a female character who acts as the spokesperson of Aoyama, and she is Haibara Ai. Every time the author wants to think about a phenomenon or satirize something, he will express it in the lines of the two characters, Kogoro or Haibara. So there's always a feeling that the two of them seem to be more mature than other people of the same age, other than talking about idols. Second question, will Mori Kogoro be tranquilized by Conan so many times in the past 6 months that it will be bad for his cerebellum? Regarding this question, I want to explain it a bit. In fact, it has been almost a year since Conan moved to the Mori house. In the anime, as of the end of the 1000th episode, without including physical attacks knocking him out, Kogoro was tranquilized by Conan about 302 times, with an average of 0.83 shots per day. While in the orthodox manga, the number of tranquilizations is less than 70 times so far, and tranquilization is only once in 5 days on average. There is no need to worry about Mori's body. Conan's tranquilizer darts will dissolve after entering the skin. If those needles were to still be in his body, then Kogoro will definitely fail the security check at the airport and be arrested by the police when they go to London. By the way, the plot of the London arc was conceived by the author as early as in 2003. That is, he began to think about it during the Vermouth arc. It was officially created in the manga during the Bourbon arc in 2010. The third question, is Aoyama Gosho an absolute childhood friends fan? The author of Detective Conan likes this childhood friend type of loving relationship. Almost every Detective Conan fan knows this point, but did you know that he also likes love triangles and slightly NTR plots? In Movie 8's Magician of the Silver Sky, Kaitokid disguised as Kuro Shinichi for the second time and appeared in front of Ran to develop some romantic interactions. This plot was proposed by the author. At the end of Movie 14, The Lost Ship in the Sky, the plot where Kid almost kissed Ran, the author had once wanted to add it to the manga. In Movie 23, The Fist of Blue Sapphire, Ran said to Kid, disguised as Shinichi, in the outdoor swimming pool, "The two of us are dating, aren't we?" was also something that Aoyama deliberately added. Adding on to these NTR plots, there are also many romantic stories in the movies designed by the author himself, such as the first kiss between Ran and Conan in Detective Conan Movie 2, The 14th Target, which was designed by the author as well. Liking both romance and NTR, what a unique interest. By the way, those viewers who think that Conan's first kiss was taken by that muscular guy may not know that that episode is the TV anime's first original plot, while the first real kiss is still based on the author's idea, which is in The 14th Target. Regarding those first graders of Detective Conan that are so mature, the root cause of the formation of their love triangle can be traced to the beginning from a question asked by a certain cast voice actor. Most people should be familiar with the cast voice of Otani Aikue, Pikachu in Pokemon, Tony Chomper in One Piece, and Mitsuhiko in Detective Conan all have their voices from her. Her voice's characteristic is being very cute, even sufficient enough to change some characters' background information for Aoyama. Mitsuhiko has changed from a character that was easily annoying to the smartest of the 3 kids, and in many cases can help Conan out. Once, Otani Aikue talked to Aoyama Gosho and asked him if there were more plots related to Mitsuhiko and the love triangle between him, Conan, and Aoyami. Aoyama then casually said that Mitsuhiko might also like Haibara. Otani liked this idea very much, and Aoyama drew the idea into the manga. What impressed me the most was in movie 5, Countdown to Heaven, when they asked Ron for dating advice. When I was watching this plot, I wondered whether modern 7-year-old students could be so precocious. When the detective boys were first established, Kojima Genta and Mitsuhiko both liked Ayumi, Ayumi liked Conan, and Conan liked Ron. After Haibara's debut, the food chain became Mitsuhiko, who liked both Ayumi and Haibara. So far, Genta likes braised eel on rice, Mitsuhiko only likes Haibara, and both Haibara and Ayumi like Conan. However, they are not the protagonists after all, and the author did not put too much thought into the polygamy of these elementary school students. First, deleting the plot setting that Genta likes Ayumi. The plot of Ayumi's crush on Conan has decreased a lot recently. It's guessed that only Mitsuhiko likes Haibara, as the author will occasionally use this plot. After all, the endings of these love relationships are destined to be a tragedy, and they can only be slowly faded away under the cover of other romantic and main storyline plots. Now that I mentioned the main storyline, I would like to revise my previous 17 videos about the main storyline of Detective Conan. In fact, the change has nothing to do with the main storyline of Detective Conan. Specifically, all the cases in the manga are considered as the main plot. Even some cases that have nothing to do with the Black Organization are regarded as well. So the titles of the previous videos should be Detective Conan Black Organization Timeline and Analysis. The next question is that since there are now fewer and fewer mystery plots in the Detective Conan movies, isn't Aoyama considering adding something to the movies? In actuality, he has already done so a long time ago, in almost every movie. In most original movies, Aoyama seldom participates in the production. However, in movies related to the Black Organization, the author will check to see if there is any conflict between this original story and his own story. This is also why all the originally created members of the Black Organization died in the movies. In any case, he likes to add a little of his interest to every movie. It's not like the NTR plot I mentioned before, but action scenes. Aoyama likes to add as cool as possible scenes to his manga, like Conan's missile-like soccer power. But if the protagonist is too strong in a mystery drama, then there will be a lost sense of mystery and horror. Second, the funding of the TV anime is not enough to support the gorgeous scenes the author wants. So, Aoyama Gosho and the anime production team work passionately in the original movies, disregarding logic, exploding with enthusiasm as much as possible, adding more battle scenes, and making the protagonist as badass as possible. If they're worried that the movie's box office rating is not high enough, then they just pick 2 characters out of furuyarei, akaishuichi, kaitokid, and hattoriheiji to appear in the movie, and put the scenes related to them with the background of an explosion in the trailer. In that case, no matter if the quality of the plot is low, the box office rating will not be too low. These recent years have followed this kind of routine, and we viewers have really been too tolerant to the filmmakers. Furthermore, Aoyama Gosho originally didn't intend to create Detective Conan at all. At that time, his editor-in-charge asked him to draw mystery manga, and Aoyama rejected this proposal, because he preferred to draw superpowered detectives rather than traditional mystery manga. But this proposal was rejected again, and Aoyama reluctantly began to create Detective Conan. Although in the modern movies, Conan is pretty much the same as a superpowered detective. Now, Detective Conan is classified as a romance, suspense, mystery, comedy, and sometimes the author himself will even directly call it a romance comedy. And it's also said that because of this classification, that is the reason why the popularity of Detective Conan's work has continued to grow. So where are the detectives in Detective Conan? By the way, when Aoyama Gosho graduated from elementary school, his dream for the future was to draw mystery manga. I kind of envy those people who can realize their childhood dreams. Question: a high school student becomes an elementary school student to become a detective. How did Aoyama come up with such an interesting story frame? This inspiration comes from the Japanese novel, Calico Cat Holmes. In the novel, every time the character takes the cat out, he will encounter various bizarre events. On this basis, Aoyama on a whim thought, what would happen if the cat was replaced by a child? At this point, Conan's buff, where people die wherever he goes, appears. After constructing the character's background information, there's the character's image. Aoyama said for the first time that he completed the image of Conan in only 5 minutes, and then changed his words in an interview that it only took a minute. All the character relationships and brief stories in the beginning plots were drafted within 1 week. This kind of fast-paced creation is not uncommon in the Japanese anime industry. Even the opening song, A Cruel Angel's Thesis of the famous Neon Genesis Evangelion, took the author only 2 hours to create the lyrics. Spending about 30 minutes for casual discussions, looking at the plan roughly, fast-forwarding through the 2 episodes of anime, and casually writing something down. In total, it took about 2 hours to complete the draft. The author was not very interested in Eva at first, and even finished the song without knowing who was fighting who in this anime. As a result, everyone likes his masterpiece. The producer of Eva attaches great importance to the song and insists on talking to the composer. The opening animation of the anime is extremely exquisite, covering a large number of images about religion and maternal love, and the number of LPs sold has reached over 1 million. On the other hand, Bakano. The author of this masterpiece only took more than 20 days to finish the light novel. Therefore, it is not uncommon for Aoyama to complete Conan's structure within 1 minute and complete the draft of the story in 1 week within the anime industry. Alright, now we come to the last question of this video. When will Detective Conan end? The plot of Detective Conan is getting more and more dragged out now, and many viewers want it to end before the commercial value of this work is drained. The author has also issued several closing statements, such as before movie 1 started airing, and when the 100th volume of the manga was released, but none of these were true. The only thing that is certain is that the author has set the ending ceremony in his mind, and he recently said that Detective Conan will end in 2025, and the author of One Piece also stated that One Piece will end in 2025. Are they obsessed with the year 2025? In any case, it's impossible for either of these two works to end in 2025. It is possible that Detective Conan will complete the serialization of the rum arc in that year, or that the identity of the boss will be revealed in the rum arc. Alright, because of time, there are still many interesting facts that have not been said. In addition to these, if you know any interesting trivial knowledge about the Detective Conan series, please leave a message in the comments below, and I will think about how to make this series.